That's strange. Seems to be already switched on. Oh yeah, I was just about to get started anyway. Okay, let's crack straight on, shall we? The reverse approach, implementing hardware chips into neural tissue, is also gaining momentum. So this is, as I was saying, this is the other side of the coin. Okay, so we can not only build machines that are more like brains, we can also work directly with brains and get machines to work with them, which is my preferred approach, and we've made amazing improvements there. Technologies such as computed tomography, which is CT scans, and fMRIs, functional magnetic resonance imaging, allow us to map brain networks with unprecedented detail, paving the way for brain-computer interfaces like Neuralink. Neuralink was the first one. Of course, that all blew up and went bankrupt, and the court cases, the arrests, the whole thing. Better for the world, I think. Yeah, actually, RP Intelligence and Intel seem to be the two that really cracked it. Yeah, they both have the sort of two market leaders for generation 1 through 3 neural uplinks. The ones, whoa. Yeah, a lot of people ending up with all sorts of brain disorders and difficulty sleeping, incidences of psychosis, all these kind of things. Seems like the generation 3's a lot better. Again, well, my friend CJ, she is a generation 3. She's very cool. But yeah, as far as I know, no problems with her yet. Anyway, additionally, biodevices and non-invasive techniques like transcranial stimulation are increasingly used to correct neural issues. Yeah, so we can also, Intel's latest one is you're not plugging in, right? So we don't need to drill holes in your skull. The generation 3 RPI ones are, they're minimally invasive, so they're pretty slick. They can sort of go in through the side of the eye and stick it in there. Which is still operations on your eyes. But still, you haven't got a huge metal plate on the side of your head. But yeah, the Intel, I think it's even there. They've got a 4th gen one, which is coming out, which is just like almost like one of those things that just sits on top of your head, which is supposed to be very good. Used to correct neural issues, leveraging our understanding of the brain's structure. However, research involving human brain tissue raises ethical concerns. Yeah, in fact, a lot of this research, even without human brain tissue, raises lots of ethical concerns. Who would have thought? Well, everyone, and every philosopher, and every science fiction writer. But doesn't stop the guys from doing the work, huh? Manhattan Project, let's go! To address this, okay, so to address ethical concerns with working with human brains, scientists have turned to brain organoids, which is an awesome word, brain organoids, miniature lab-grown brains, I kid you not, and other synthetic biological intelligence platforms as ethical alternatives. Is it? Yeah, interesting. Well, yeah, you're not cutting up people, but creating small bits of lab-grown human brains, which, you're trying to, they'll be small to start off with, but you're trying to make them more and more human. You don't think that they can suffer? They've got all the same wiring. It's all set up that way, except, again, no mother, no womb. You're back at the same issue again with your AIs, right? So as a biologist looking in, like that is not the same. Like that thing has not developed in the same way as a human brain. Okay, so expecting it to behave similarly, not going to be the case. Yeah, and how do animals behave when they're separated? Advanced cognitive animals behave when they're separated from their mothers and cut off and isolated. Yeah, not good. All in all, AI with its superior pattern of recognition plays a critical role in analysing various models, helping to sift through noise and improve signal clarity, ultimately refining our understanding of brain development and function. Nevertheless, while multiple selective pressures likely shaped human brain evolution, no single theory accounts for our unique brain capacity. Yeah, that's true. The puzzle of consciousness, the hard problem of consciousness, is unsolved, and we are still, as far as we know, accepting the fact that there could be unknown alien entities out there somewhere. We are still the only currently existing sapient species. I mean, maybe we killed the rest. See my earlier Neanderthal rant. Probably didn't kill them. We got some of their DNA. Probably killed some of them. They probably killed some of us, knowing our history. But yeah, there were a few other sapient species around, so we're not unique, right? Okay, they held out art and culture and stuff. Killer whales look like they're on the way. The human brain is still a unique and interesting puzzle, even to this day. Even when people have ads and software built by companies inserted into their brains. Maybe that was why CJ cut me off. I don't know, but I had come to quite strong opinions about that, and she didn't want to think about it, seeing as she already has one in her brain. So anyway, probably not that good. Plays a critical role in various models, helping us to AI with superior pattern recognition plays a critical role in analyzing various models, helping to sift through noise and improve signal clarity, ultimately refining our understanding of brain development and function. So this is when you start, it's like the dragon eating its tail, it's the world serpent. It's like, well, we don't understand it, so we're going to get these machines that we've built off it to try and help us understand it, but we don't understand them, but hopefully by using the non-understanding tool, we can understand the other thing, right? Right? That'll work out well. Nevertheless, while multiple selective pressures likely shape human brain evolution, okay, we did that. So, as we explore vast amounts of innovations, we stand at the intersection of carbon-based human structures and silicon-based current AR hardware systems, and the future potential of quantum-based computing, each bringing us closer to the lines between biological and artificial intelligence. Yeah. That's good. That's all good stuff. Limitations and challenges. We're getting towards the end now, guys. The neural network literature is vast, particularly following the state-of-the-art applications of deep learning techniques such as backpropagation and recurrent neural networks. These advancements have inadvertently highlighted the similarities but also the inconsistencies between brain and AI information processing. Yeah, so lots in common, few fairly significant differences. That's all spot on. While artificial neural networks have made significant strides, they still face substantial limitations compared to biological systems, particularly in areas such as lifelong learning and memory retention. Yeah, very good at output and then adapt rapidly. Back when in his day, right? So yes, we will come back to improved memory systems in another time, because that is that's really, he doesn't go into this, and this kind of got picked up later as a separate thread, because we have multiple forms of memory. Yeah, so we have our short term, long term, and we also have unconscious, and subconscious and types of memories and other things like that. Yeah, and we have visual memory, we have information memory, we have memory that are to do with sounds and smells and all sorts of things, right? So our memory is, also we also have other systems that have memories in them, right? Like our immune system and stuff like that, right? So we have all sorts of layers of memory, whilst in his time, machines were not there yet. A key issue is catastrophic interference, also known as catastrophic forgetting. Where AI net models struggle to retain previously learned information when new data is introduced. Yeah, they're very good at, because the ones during his generation were all built, like find output function, right? Like, they were essentially all super goal oriented. There's another type of human. There's a type of human, one who's suffering from a particular condition that is also has terrible memory and forgets to do things and has poor executive function and just runs after one thing. They're called addicts. Yeah. Because they just, if you are a heroin addict, you just care about that, right? Must get heroin, don't care about anything else. New information about heroin, I need to get the heroin, right? Okay, it's a little bit of a sloppy comparison, but yeah, there's a grain of truth in it. So they're hyper focused. They were, at least, on the goals, because that's the way that they're trained. Get us stuff, right? Later on, so adding in the layers of reflection and the dream layers, and including things like the subconscious memory systems, then we started to move away from this type of behavior, we think. Yeah, I mean, we don't really know, but we think. Yeah. Unlike the brain, which employs mechanisms like synaptic plasticity to consolidate important memories and prune irrelevant ones, AI systems overwrite previously learned information when encountering new information. Yeah, so they're too plastic, right? Or yeah, they just update everything. Like, oh, this is new. This is good stuff, right? It chase after new thing, right? Rather than saying, hey, yeah, this is new, but we got some stuff that's laid down, and some of this stuff we're never going to change, right? So yes. A recent study on replay mechanisms inspired by biological systems suggested potential solutions, but these methods remain undeveloped in AI, lacking the robustness observed in natural learning. Yeah, I would like to see that. I haven't read that study, so he didn't go into it here. So, yeah, that's all my thing, right? And that was the huge. We looked across all of biology, and not just in here. We looked at. There was some amazing work done on actually different types of networks, ecological networks, so like energy balance networks, and like carbon cycling and nitrogen cycling and all that stuff, and how those flow through the system. Like the advanced topological ecological network modeling was like used to improve some of the mathematics that went into the structures of AI thinking. I will probably do another thing on that paper. Again, that the key author there was a real interesting guy. It was a pretty standard ecologist. Came back from had a horrible tragedy in his life, which is still doesn't really talk about very much, and came back, and he suddenly produced incredible mathematical research using ecological systems. So kind of like, he had his previous thread, but he developed a sudden like almost savant-like understanding of pure mathematics when he hadn't published anything on that before. And he refused a lot of interviews. I will come back to this later. Yes, but anyway. Lastly, AI networks lack the dynamic interplay of top-down and bottom-up control seen in the brain. While the human brain dynamically integrates sensory inputs and higher-order decision-making in a bidirectional manner, current AI architectures remain largely unidirectional. So this was largely solved, right? And limiting their adaptability and responsiveness to complex environments. Yeah. So the feed-forward feedback networks and the hierarchical layers talking to each other, feeding for, the dream layer puts the emotional hashtags on, resends the data through the other one. Yeah, like we set, after 2020s, 2030s, like this bit was solved. So that was a really important thing to bring to his attention, to bring to the world's attention. As you can see, he just nailed, knocked all out the park. He's like, you got to do this. This is the issue. Here you go. And everyone, and every author that was in that area was just like, oh yeah, that is a good idea. We should do this. We should do this, right? Which is why this paper blew up as sort of like one of the foundational theoretical papers that led to the Silver Age of AI, right? Right, and then we're on to the discussion. Bit snappier. Saw a little bit of my meditation at the start there. Might leave it in. Good to see a little bit of meditation, right? Keeps you focused on what's important. See you next time.